Okay, guys, let's talk about this for a moment. This is going to be a guide for you to plot your points on the initials layout sheet, how to type them into our coordinates, and then finally how to enter them into our little code maker sheet right here. So the points that we're going to use are going to be these existing dots because I can't really draw on Google Docs my own initials and things like that. So we're just going to use these dots right here. So let's go ahead. We're going to focus on this one down here, and we're going to make this point A. Like I said, I can't really draw on it, but this right here is going to be point A. So you can see we start at our origin, we go over, our x coordinate is going to be 0.3125. We go up our y, you can see that our y is going to be 0.3125. So we're going to go over here under A. Here's our x. We're going to type in 0.3125. And then, of course, our y is the same, 0.3125. We're going to make this one up here our b coordinate. So we start here at our x. We can see that our x didn't really change, so that's going to stay 0.3125. We'll go ahead and do that before we forget. And our y coordinate now, right here, is 1.6875. So we'll type that in, 1.6875. This one right here, this is what's going to be point C. Our x, we go over, double check it. Our x is going to be 0.9375. 0.9375. And our y, there is no change. So it's going to be the 1.6875. Finally, D down here, let's get the coordinates for that. Our x is the 0.9375. And our y is the 0.3125. If you think about it, we almost pretty much made a rudimentary in here. If we follow the path, we go boom, start, up, over, down. It's kind of like an in. So this is all we're going to do for this first one. Okay, I'm not going to teach you how to do the other initials. Hopefully you figured this out by now. Let's go over here. We'll check we have all of our coordinates. Fantastic. All right, here is the main sheet. Okay. If you remember, we changed a couple of things. Our spindle speed is not 3,000 RPM, it's going to be 24,000 RPM. And our feed rate is not going to be 9 inches per minute, it's going to be 18 inches per minute. Lucky for us, though, the first few lines of code are pretty much where they need to be. We are working in absolute, which is G90. We are working in inches, which is G20. So absolute. Line number two, or line number one right here, MO6, tool change, tool one. That we don't have to change. NO2, so we are turning the spindle speed, or we're turning the spindle on clockwise, but our speed we're actually going to change to 24,000. All right, so right now our machine is just kind of hanging out. It knows it's working in absolute, it knows it's working in inches, it knows it has tool one in it. We just told it to turn the spindle on at 24,000 RPM. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to move to point A, which if we check our coordinates over here, our point A, x is 0.3125, 0.3125. and our y is the same. It's 0.3125. So what we're doing now is our machine is quickly moving over to our first point. All right, it's just hanging out above at whatever setting we had it at. Okay, that's what the rapid traverse is for, the G00. We are then going to rapid traverse G00 to Z 0.1, which basically means it's going to plunge down the spindle to zero point 0.1 inches above our part. Right, it's just hanging out there. It's still not cutting anything. This right here, this is our first actual cut move right here. G01, so this is our linear interpolation. This is our slow move, okay? We are moving negative 0.0625 inches into the material, okay? That means that we are punching in a 30 seconds of an inch. What I would like for us to do is let's change that to 0.125. You know what? I changed mine. Let's leave it at 0.625. We're punching in as a 16th of an inch here. Our feed rate, though, needs to change, though, because we're not moving at 9 inches a minute. We're moving at 18 for this. So all we've done up to this point is we've moved our spindle to above A. Here, we've plunged the spindle down to 0.1 inches above A. And then finally here, we've plunged into A. We are now cutting into the material. Okay. Our next move is going to be moving from A to B. So since this is a cutting move, we are going to use G01. Our X and Y coordinates we'll find up here. So for B, right here, our X is going to stay the same, 0.3125. Our Y is going to change, though, to 1.6875. 1.6875. Our Z is unchanging, so we do not need to type in our Z. And our feed rate is unchanging, so we do not need to type it in. Remember, once we enter in something like our Z-axis or our F-axis, once we type that in, we do not have to change it until, or we do not have to type it in until we change something. So we're going to go ahead and write over here. We're going to say cut to B. That's pretty. We're going to add in 07 because now we're on line 7. What we're going to do at this line is we're going to cut from B to C. So this is a cut move. Let's G01. We're going to enter in the coordinates for C, which, as you can see here, are for the X, it's 0.9375. And our Y is going to stay the same, 1.6875. Once again, our Z is staying the same, and our feed rate is staying the same. So for our pseudocode over here, we're going to say cut to, I have the caps lock on, cut to C. Next line, right here, we are going to cut to D, so in 07. Since this is a cutting move, we are going to do G01. And now we need to type in the coordinates for D, which is for X is 0.9375, 0.9375. And for Y, it is 0.3125. Once again, our Z is not changing and our feed rate is not changing. So we are going to put this as our pseudocode cut to D. So what we've done now is we've cut from here to here to here to here. Now what we need to do, though, is we need to move over to our next initial over here, okay? We want to make sure that we remove the bit from the wood when we go from here to here so that we're not cutting a straight line to our next initial, okay? We want to take it out. We want to pull it out of the wood. We want to move over to our next point where we're going to plunge back in just like we did here at A. So we're going to pull out of the wood. So in 08, that's our next line of code. Since this is a rapid traverse movement, we're going to do G00. Our X and our Y are not changing, but our Z is going to change. Z 0.1. So now we've gone from a 16th of an inch in the material to 0.1 inches above the material. Then right here, our next line in 09 would be a G00. And then we would type in here our coordinates for point E. Okay, we have not established point E yet because we don't have them over here yet. But you would type in, let's just take a guess and we'll go type point E is going to be, let's see here, 1.1875. 1.1875. We're just pretending at this point. And then we'll make it 01 or 0.3125 right here. So that's going to be our pretend E point right there. So what we've done so far is on this last one, we pulled out of the wood. Now we're going to rapid traverse over to E. So we need to type in the E coordinates, 1.1875. And then right here, our Y coordinates were 0.3125. We do not need to enter any Z because we are still 0.1 inches above the material. And when we are doing G00, we should not have to enter in a feed rate since the machine will just automatically adjust itself to the G00. So right here, we're going to say TRAVERSE. There we go. And then, of course, our next line of code would then say we're going to plunge into E. So our Z is going to change. It'll be a G01, Z negative 0.0625, and then at F18, and then we start making our cuts again. Hopefully this explains it a little better for you guys now that you've kind of seen what we are going to be doing. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know.